sitting here with sHockWave shortly after qualifying for playoffs. Back to back. I mean, with this season, right? Everything that came into it, the delays, the visa issues. I think for a lot of your teammates especially, this was a very emotional moment. Can you explain what it took for you guys to get to playoffs, and then also how it feels?
I think I haven't even realized it for sure yet. Yeah, I mean, like the others, I could almost cry. It's kind of surreal. I think like going into it, I would say personally, I was like really confident because I think we really had good practice, like on so many strats. Like even today, some of the maps might be like first time we played some comps, but I think we were like so confident that we were just like, okay, we can just mirror. Like if they play something that kind of counters us, and we'll just roll them. So yeah, I was really confident.
Maybe just to contextualize these two victories, right? Can you explain what the season was like for you? Like in terms of like the timelines, when did you get to practice with the team, what you did, and then like when you got with the team and how the practice went?
I got here obviously a bit late, like kind of like halfway through. The thing is that when I got out of quarantine, it was summer showdown. I believe, yeah. Um, and I didn't have like a lot of time to catch up because obviously when you're 14-day kind of AFK, you get a little bit rusty. So yeah, I didn't really like feel too hot at that time. Also, in the tournament where they banned Echo and Ash, that was obviously the greatest situation to be in my perspective. um, but I think you know the situation was it is what it is. I think at the start, what like really saved it for me, at least my mood, was that we actually got to play on Fusion Uni. Uh, at least that like even it wasn't a league, like kind of got to socialize and talk with a lot of the guys. I think that was really important. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm just making a playoff run, I guess. So.
Very, very true, yeah. And you were actively part of the matches today. We talked to Christopher at an earlier date. He was talking about like basically your team has like 3 very good Echo players, for instance, and like you can pick up the hit scan as well. You even played over Carpe on some of those maps. It feels like your DPS lineup is sort of like the puzzle pieces that fit together, and you kind of decide who plays based on like what is expected most of you guys to play in terms of the hero distribution. So can you explain to us what kind of puzzle piece you are, what you bring to the table in that trio?
Like we started on Cuff map, I think, versus Spark. We had like Ash Tracer or like Hit Scan, and then Carpet Tracer. Like I could play like Kree or Ash, and then Carpet on Tracer. But versus some comps, I could also go Echo, so we could go like more hard dive, like Echo Tracer. So I feel like that was like where it really like fitted well. I think probably like mainly like the Echo swap is what does it. So I think that's also why we like had good success. Like even I didn't really swap to Echo, it was still also an option if there was a good case or situation for it. So I think that's like if there's one certain comp we did struggle, like when there was like one meta, like we did struggle before this season. But I think really our strength is that when we can swap and adapt like multiple comps, no hero bans, I think we're really strong actually. So yeah.
How does practicing work then? Do you just get in for specific maps, or is it based on what you expect the opponent to play and then adjust according to that?
It's a bit of a mix, I would say. Like when you start like the week, early in the first week, like when you start scrims, you kind of like theory crafting, like you're thinking, is it still Sombra Tracer meta? Like is Orisa Sigma good? So I think at the start you like determine out from like the maps you play. Then you like kind of pick, okay, this map, like this high ground, Monkey Diva is good, or this map like really spam is good, like Orisa. Then you kind of go from there. But then sometimes in scrims, you meet some teams that play some, some teams play like Sim Rush, some teams play Pharah. There's a bunch of different styles, and then you kind of just adapt and swap. So I think this coming into this, like we have really good system. Like we're really confident swapping. Like it's not like we're getting into a point where like, oh, it's kind of awkward. Going this hero, going that hero. So I think like getting closer to matches, we more like adapt to what enemy play. So yeah.
Now, the interesting part is, especially in terms of map picks, I mean, over the season, I would say Numbani wasn't exactly your strongest choice. I remember that one fateful match against Valiant happening there on Numbani. So why did you end up choosing it today?
I think we were feeling like really confident on Narissa, and then on Numbani we obviously had a strat where we would just go Reaper. Like we would play like Reaper tree, and just like run it down up top, on that high ground platform. And I think it's also like one of the strong things is that we can kind of surprise teams with it, and then you make them feel a little bit awkward. Like I think they did that to us on their attack as well. Like they went double shit and we were like Sombra Tracer. Like I think our comp on defense like made sense against dive, rush, but then they go double shield and we're like, oh, what do we swap to? Like, okay, we go Sigma Hanzo and then we go Orisa and then we just end up mirror, So yeah, I think our attack we were like really sure we were gonna, surprise them. But defense we got kind of surprised. But luckily we pushed it really far in second attack. So yeah, we got that map.
What was preparation in general like? Because I mean, we get why it has to be this way, but the back-to-back is pretty brutal, right? Like the back-to-back matches.
Honestly, I wouldn't actually say so. I mean, we've been scrimming like 3 blocks a day. So I think we're kind of used to kind of long days. I mean, I personally think that for me personally, I played better when it got like later in the matches. So I think maybe what helped is that we also like swapped out, DPS, like we rotated. Like maybe if it was one meta and the same heroes and the same stuff, then I could see it being more draining and repetitive. But I think this type of the game and how it played out, I don't think it was actually that draining.
Now, a little bit in hindsight of the season, generally speaking, like with all the obstacles you had to overcome and everything, are you still satisfied at this point that with what you've achieved, or do you need to go further for that feeling to set in?
My year has been so weird. Like I actually don't even know like what I want anymore. Like I obviously want to win. But you know, I always say that it's really important to have fun. I think today like we had a lot of fun. So I think that's like really important. But I mean, now that we're playoff, you always think ahead, right? Like now you're thinking about, oh, you really want to win next match, and yeah, you kind of go from there. So yeah, I guess we want to win grand finals.
Speaking of next matches, of course, you're kind of at the whims of whoever picks you, right? Is there any fear that Shanghai just goes, I guess we're getting rid of Fusion first?
Honestly, not. I think Shanghai really shined through on that Sombra Tracer, which we have like, we did like 3-0 them. But I think now when there's like multiple metas, like I think we actually have an upper hand. I think they're pretty good at specializing, but swapping comps, I think we definitely have the upper hand. So yeah, I don't really worry too much.
Yeah, that's an interesting point because Christopher on the interview said basically to us like he thinks that Shanghai and Chengdu look like the best teams in the world just because they're so good at ball. Do you think Ball is maybe a little bit overrated?
I think Ball is really, really insane hero actually, but Ball comps are they're so hard to play. Like it's almost like there's I don't really know what to compare it to, but like if you click, like if you really, really know what you're doing, and you know exactly what comp you're playing against and stuff like that, I think it's really good. And you get the ults going. It's really strong, but when there are no hero bans and like enemy can make changes and stuff, I think like if you get thrown off guard on that comp, it's really, really hard because like Risacom, like someone like does a mistake, they just get a drone thrown in their head, But like if Ball messes up his slam, he gets stunned, he's dead. Like there's no proper save for him, or like some Sombra messes up his EMP, then you're waiting like AFK for a long time, So I think it's strong, but no hero bans. I think teams can like find a way to adapt around it.
I guess then as a last point, I mean, once again, you're not the team in the position to pick, but if you could choose, who would you like to play against?
Well, probably Washington. uh, if we can get to them, because I think that Lucio Moira is just like, you can beat up teams that isn't ready for it. But like when you know what to do, I think it's it's so bad. Like, so yeah, if that seems like kind of one trick, so that would be pretty easy, I think.
And we should say at this point they are not directly qualified yet, right?
No, yeah,
Are
for
you
sure.
assuming that
Yeah,
they will be?
I doubt it, cause I think, I mean, it depends if teams can swap and adapt to Lucio Moira, but I think Dallas, like in early season, they kind of surprised some people, uh, with it. But I think by now, I don't think good teams should lose to Lucio Moira Rush. So yeah, no, I think I doubt they will make it.
Do you have any idea how your preparation will look like until playoffs start?
I think we're gonna chill a bit. Um, I think we're just gonna keep actually scrimming and doing our strategies as we do. I mean, depending on, maybe some matches might change it a bit. We've probably had some insight. I think Hanamura is a really good lesson for us. So I think we've had some. We can do some good VOD review. But as long as there's no like crazy patch, changing it. So yeah, it's gonna be keep practicing, improving our strategies.
All right, then we wish good luck with that. Thank you for the interview and good luck in the
Thanks.
next matches.
Thank you.